Okay, my friends, here it is. The Saturday morning live stream at the Garden Like a Viking headquarters, zone 5/6. Let me get you guys all situated where you need to be, because we're using this new software. So it's got the ultra wide camera. It like captures 3 times as much as the other camera does. So it's, okay, there we go. Can you guys hear me? Can everybody hear me? Because we got a lot to talk about today, guys. A lot of good things happening. So let me do the sound check. Thunderstorm. Okay, what did I say? What did I say? Am I blowing this mic out? You got to let me know how it sounds. Okay, guys. So the forecast. All right. Well, let me see here. Let me just say right off the bat. So the walking onion orders are, we are sold out. Okay. So we're going to go ahead and cap it. Today will be the last day. All right. But other than that, we're going to cap it, until pre-orders will start in March of next year. Okay. But have no fear. If you've made your payment, they're on the way. We've almost got them all processed and shipped out and stuff. It was a lot. It was a lot. A lot of learning experiences, so much good things happened, so that we'll be on it more for the future. We're going to have a website and everything. So if you haven't received yours yet, don't worry. Okay. You will receive them. But from here out, we're pretty much done with the walking onion orders. Now, that being said, guys, don't be concerned about having to plant them exactly at this right time. The walking onions are very hardy. How many of you, and I've seen so many pictures in the Viking Discord chat, and you've emailed them to me and stuff, of your Valhalla onions that are already like 8 inches tall. And so it's amazing. Okay. All right. Let's see here. Okay. Andre Puska says, "Hi, Nate. Is membership still not available, or am I missing something?" That's why I was 10 minutes late today instead of 5 minutes, is because I was like, how do people actually sign up for this thing? So I had to run upstairs and get into the computer, and then had to look up a YouTube video of how to turn on the actual button and yada, yada, yada. So now if you just go to the homepage of the channel, there's a join button, and just click join. Now I need everyone to join. Okay. I set it at $3 a month, and there's only one tier for now. Maybe in the future there will be other tiers, but I don't know exactly. It just feels strange to me with, withholding some things from some people because other people pay more. You know what I mean? It's more like, if you want to pay and contribute, then donate, via all the other methods as well. But the memberships is also good, though. It's getting pushed really heavily. YouTube is like shoving them down our throats. So, I need everyone to sign up for the membership if you can. It's only $3 a month, and I would greatly appreciate that. Okay. That will help out the tribe. And the perk is that you get the badges. I made a couple of emoji badges and stuff like that. It takes all day to make that stuff for me, because I got to learn how to do it all as I go. But then one of the main perks is that the members will get their questions answered in the regular gardening videos. Now, in the live streams are still just going to be whatever I can pull out. Okay. But the live streams are different. But for the regular videos, they've made a section where the members, you can click sort by memberships. And so on the regular videos, because I get tons of questions on these videos, I can't possibly get to them all. But if I can click and see all the members' questions, then I can answer those. I will prioritize those on all the regular videos. So there's that, we might do like a $25, thing, maybe, where we'll do a once or maybe even twice a month Q&A, members only, like gold tier members only Q&A. But even that just doesn't feel right. I don't know. So we'll see. So thank you guys. Teats Treats, you have to just refresh everything, okay? Refresh everything. Oh, you did? Well, it might take a moment to, I just did it. So we'll see. All right. So let us see. Big West says, "I was miserable and feel better just showing up here." That's right. We're glad you're here, my friend. We got tons of cool stuff to talk about. So let me know where you're at, what you're growing, and how the season is going for you. Now, even though they were calling for lots of rain here, there was on the forecast. Okay, let me show you how it works here. Okay, let me show you how the weather sort of works. Okay, so so I looked at the weather app and look at all that rain that's coming. Yay, yay. Okay, look at all that rain. That was yesterday. All right. And we got like maybe 5 minutes of a little like that, boom, and that was it. I mean, that was it. So like an eighth of an inch into the mulch or the soil was just bone dry. I mean, it was absolutely nothing. Okay, so there was our big thunderstorm yesterday, and then all these other storms that are coming in the next few days. Yeah, okay. Well, then you wake up and you check the forecast, and they pretty much all disappear. Look at all that. It all just disappears except for a tiny little chance Sunday and Tuesday, which is going to evaporate and be nothing again. Guys, I've never seen anything like this in this area my whole life. I mean, the grass is dead, crispy brown. Even the trees are so stressed that they are dropping their leaves without even changing colors. Now, if you live in a place like California, Northern California, where this has been happening for millennia, it's a part of the natural cycle, then that's not a problem. All the plants, the trees, the animals, they're all adapted to that. But here, that's not typical. So these things are not adapted to that. These sycamore trees and these oaks and all this kind of stuff, we got tons of hardwoods here. And no, we don't have resilient trees that are used to that, okay? So let's see here. Sam Potzik says the clicking is bad now. Yeah, I don't know what to do, man. I don't know. I mean, I've replaced everything. I've replaced every single thing. I've got streaming software. I've replaced the cables. I got a new microphone. I mean, I don't know what to do. So I'm just at a total loss as far as the clicking sound. So the Kenny Martin, $5. Thank you very much, my friend. Says, Nate, where do I upload my garden video? Wanted to thank you for this year's garden advice. Yes. All right. The Viking Discord chat. You can upload videos to do it to the section garden pictures and make sure that you mention me at Garden Like a Viking. Otherwise, I won't see it because there's all kinds of good communications happening in the Viking Discord chat. Okay. Now, that was another option for one of the perks, is to have a members-only Discord chat. But again, I just couldn't see secluding some people or excluding some people because they're not going to pay. That just doesn't seem like the way I want to do things. So I want everyone to have access. And then if you're moved to pay or contribute to the land, to the whole operation, then do so according to your means. But if not, that's fine too. So that's just, but YouTube is all like, no, you got to do it this way. Whatever, it doesn't matter. But because though, thank you, Kenny. So yeah, the Viking Discord chat, if you haven't already done it, then make sure that you do it. Okay. Let's see here. Now I've got some, here's a ticker. Okay. There's a little stimulation ticker. Had to type those beforehand. Cowgirl in Arizona says, Nate, your area sounds like the desert. It does right now, definitely. And I've traveled all over the world, many, many different places. And places that experience that are adapted to that. That's the thing that is different here. So people in Arizona are thinking, well, it hasn't rained in 10 weeks. Yeah, not a big deal. That's a bit just on par. Or in Northern California, yeah, it doesn't rain for 6 months straight, not even once, the whole time. But everything's adapted, okay? And your setups are adapted as well, okay? We weren't relying on the rain, because if we were growing in Northern California in the summertime, relying on the rain, you're not growing anything, period. It only grows where you irrigate it. Look at this, new member. Signal Lost became a new member. I think that's the first member, guys. So you get badges. I made some badges. So there's 0, then 1, 2, 3, 4 for every month that you're a member. So, the first people to sign up will be the OG members. They'll get the 12 before anybody else. As your number increases, that means you've been a member longer. Even though I know the score. Jeffrey says, I hear your cricket, Nate, but no clicking. Yeah, there's crickets right outside the window. I love the crickets. So see, Arizona Cowgirl says, we have gotten more rain here than I ever have seen. Nice. Gary Taproot says, hey, Nate, just treat the memberships like group consultations. People that want to pay for that can. Others don't have to. Yes, definitely. Of course. They can. Yeah, that's pretty much how I'm doing that, of course. But, memberships like group consultations. Okay, yes. That would be kind of good. I mean, it'd have to be worth it. It'd have to be like a $25 a month tier, but we could do a group consultation in some way, which would be good. We'll have to think on that. But so look at this. Alexander, new member. Kelly Cornell, new member. Yes, thank you guys. I appreciate you. So HWIT 9000 says, can't afford to join anything that costs money. I'm on a fixed income. Okay, that's not a problem. So thank you for your energetic contribution. If you guys, you want to be part of something, you want to help grow. You guys are here at the ground floor. Wait until you see what's coming in the next handful of years with all the whole vision that is happening. So you guys will be able to come in person. Or at least virtually. We'll have so much more going on. It's going to be wonderful. So you can contribute energetically. Comment on every video. Watch the video. As soon as you see it pop up on your screen, just watch it. Even if you're not going to watch it at that time, click watch and turn the volume down low and just let it play. And then you can watch it later. Do that. That's what's important. As soon as you see the video, don't pass it up. Click it, watch it, the whole thing, and leave a thumbs up. That is tremendously helpful. Okay. And subscribe if you are. I never ask people to subscribe because it doesn't really matter to me. So Country Livin' says, question, are there any specific things you add to your soil for the Three Sisters planting method? Okay. The Three Sisters method is, now, so I assume that you already understand the pros and cons of the Three Sisters method. So the Three Sisters is growing winter squash, dried corn, field corn, flint corn, dent corn, and storage beans. Okay. So right out of the gate, most people are not doing the method right. They're growing summer squash with some green beans and then their sweet corn. And it's going to be a catastrophe. It doesn't really work that well. Its strength. The Three Sisters, remember, every system has strengths and weakness. So the Three Sisters' strength, its primary strength, is that you plant it and forget about it. And all the crops are storage crops. So it's what the natives would do to put up food for over the winter, along with lots of meat, of course. And they would use the Three Sisters because the winter squash stores all winter. The dried corn stores almost indefinitely, and the beans store very long as well, all winter. So you have your food supply over the winter. Now, its downsides are that it takes a lot of room. So the natives had plenty of room. So they would just plant mounds and just let them go. Once you plant the Three Sisters, that's it. You don't weed it, you don't tend it, you don't do anything unless it's out of control with weeds. But if you do the right method, it shouldn't be out of control. So the important thing is to add all the fertility that you're going to add right at the beginning. So you want to add, and I did this several years at the Temple Garden. You want to add ideally like a 2 foot tall by 4 to 5 feet wide mound of mostly, I mean, ideally make it mostly horse manure or some kind of manure that's not been tainted with the herbicides, which is a nightmare now. But If you know the source of the manure, do it. You can also use chicken manure, goat manure, alpaca, all those kind of things work really well. Now, you will want to plant into that mound, and then that's it. All right, so add the wood ash right in the beginning, get it all mixed in there real good. Add all your fertility in the beginning, okay? And then that's it. Now watch my video about the Three Sisters gardening, where I show you the pattern by which you should plant, and also the timing by which you should plant. Very important. The timing and the pattern by which you plant is important. You don't just plant it all at the same time, okay? So I hope that answers the question, but that's pretty much how you do that, all right? Lots of fertility. But the beans, yes, they do add fertility to the soil, definitely. But is it enough to really have thriving? Not so much. You want to add, when the natives were here, the soil in general was much more fertile. We still had several feet more on average topsoil. We've lost unimaginable amounts of topsoil just in the past 100 years of practices, of horrendous, horrifying ecocidal practices. We've lost the topsoil. And it takes nature, guess how long it takes nature to make 1 inch of topsoil? 1,000 years. Yes. We're not talking about leaf mold or compost. We're talking about actual topsoil, which is a combination of sand, silt, and clay. So it takes 1,000 years for the microbes to break this down properly. And so year after year, millennia after millennia, North America had several feet of this luscious, thick, delicious, nutrient-rich topsoil. And with our farming practices, we drained the land and cut up all the land, took out all the trees, wiped out everything so that we could plant corn and soybeans and wheat for profit. And so those practices have absolutely decimated that topsoil because there's nothing holding it there anymore. It used to be held there by the roots and the soil microorganisms and all that stuff gone. It's just dead soil that just washes away into our rivers and stuff. People don't understand. It's literally ecocide. I mean, the total killing of the ecosystem, and that's just people don't grasp it. If they did, they would just be lost for words. I mean, it's unbelievable. And so this soil, all the soil around here now, doesn't grow anything like it used to grow. So yes, we have to add things. We have to add more things now. Yeah. We have to add more things. So if you're doing the Three Sisters is a great opportunity if you have like a dead carcass of a raccoon or a possum or a few rats, so like nuisance animals, things you gotta take care of. Then you can bury them under the Three Sisters, and then put a mound of leaf mold and some other stuff in there. Or you could add a 5-gallon bucket of compost, there, something like that. It needs the fertility right there. All right. So Rebecca, okay, we got you. Thank you very much. So we got your order for the onions. Remember, after today, we're sold out. So if you guys are watching this after the fact, go ahead and order, but that's the last. That's the end. And then an additional $25. Thank you very much, Rebecca. Says, thank you for sharing your knowledge. Donation. Yes, thank you, my friend. I appreciate you. So yes, and those kind of things help us to keep all this stuff sponsor free. How many channels do you watch that as you're talking, they'll say, okay, well, I'm going to give you all this information, the point of the video. But first, let me take a minute and a half of your time to thank today's sponsor of the video, Squarespace, where you can blah, 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 blah. If you notice, I've never done anything like that. I don't have any sponsors at all, except you guys. So in order for that to work, now that we're professional social media person, Viking gardener, that kind of stuff, well, it takes funding. So you have to fund somehow. So that's that. Thank you guys. So the donations help us to keep it all totally free of nonsensical sponsorships. Aaron Johnson, new member. Thank you. Julianne Scott, new member. Yes, guys. Remember, if you can afford it, I would really appreciate the membership, not just because of the $3 a month, but because of the standing upon. I can just tell YouTube's really pushing this stuff. So they want you to gather members, and they will help to promote. So remember, guys, the way YouTube works is not that, well, if you make the best content, then people are going to watch it. You'll get the most views. That is not at all how it happens. That's how most people think that it happens, but that's actually not how it happens. It happens based upon there's something much deeper, much deeper at play. Okay. But the only videos that get seen are the ones that YouTube presents to people. Okay. If YouTube's not pushing your content, meaning putting it up on screen, then you're not getting views, period. I mean, some people will search out your stuff. Yes. They'll search out, by name. A few, 1% of people will do that. But if YouTube's not promoting your stuff on the home screen, you're getting forgotten about, and you're not getting. Think of how many memberships or how many channel subscriptions, and you just, wait a second, I haven't heard from them in a long time. I wonder what they're up to. And you got to look them up, and they've got 50 new videos and you haven't seen any of them because YouTube, they've fallen out of favor with the algorithm, and they're not promoting you. So it all has to do with the algorithm. If the algorithm, it's like the emperor in the gladiator in the Colosseum. If the algorithm's thumbs up, then you're got a thriving business going on with thousands of new subscribers. If the algorithm thumbs down, then you don't get nothing. You put all this work into the video, and what is that thumb? Is it seeing me do a thumbs down? That's weird. But you put all this work into the video, and then just nothing. So it's a trip, guys. It's a trip. But remember the algorithm, so you have to be in favor of that. I mean, so that's what the memberships are about. All right. Oh yeah, Tree Rogi for sure. Hey, there's no doubt about it, guys. Yeah, as far as the algorithm goes, it's not about who's making the best content. It's about something much greater. And look up social engineering. Okay. That's much greater, much more important than profits are to these kind of companies. Okay. Once you've got all the money in the world, the profits aren't the bottom line anymore. They seem like they are, but there's a much greater thing that they are about. Okay. Okay. Ronnie Ark. Yes, we got you. Okay, yes, I see your screen name. Got you on your order for the onions. Okay, remember, guys, it's the last day. Okay. Oh, I like this. Okay, let's see here. Ooh, okay. So now, I know you guys can't see this, but now the members are in the starred area of this stream. Okay, let me get this off the screen. Sorry about that. Whoops. So, okay, Wayne, you have to go to the, you have to hit it says join. There's a button that says join. Refresh it. It's on the home page of the channel. It might be somewhere down on this stream as well, but it says join. Okay. Now, let's see here. What was I saying? Okay. Yeah. So it's saying the comments are, so now I can go by starred comments, and all of the members are now in the starred area. Ooh, my mom's even a member. Thanks, Denise. I'm surprised that you're all set up so that, that's good. Thanks. And so the, my mom, of course, was like the original. I mean, of course, it's my mom. She's original supporter. She would take, when the channel had, from the very beginning, she would put my videos on, play all day long and just let the dog listen to them while she's gone. And the live streams and everything. I think she still does that. There's nobody like your mother. That's for sure. So, so now I can see the members' comments. You see here? Look, all right. So I can tell how many members are here and what their comments are. Now that does not mean during the live streams that I'm just going to talk to only members. That's not what that means. So, Oh, Linda Rogers says the members are in the very top of the chat. I can see them. Hans Ketchup says, do the walking onions suppress growth of other plants? No, they do not. They're not very competitive. Okay, they grow really vigorously, but they do not. They do not grow. They do not outgrow other things. So the grass will grow up around them. The stuff will all grow up around them. Okay. Let's see. I'm getting emails. Yes. So if you've paid for your onions, don't worry. I'm saying they're sold out, but that's to new people. You will get your onions. Okay. I will have to look it up and I will have to look up the specifics for your each one. Okay. But the Nancy, $20. Thank you very much, my friend. Says, looking forward to the 70s. Oh, yeah. You're talking about the weather? Me too. Definitely looking forward to that. 70s and overcast. And guys, I'm so glad that I took your advice and didn't rip out the garden right away. I'm waiting because now, and I've started watering by hand. I know it takes an absurd amount of time, and it's not really that effective with this setup, but it's working. And the Brussels sprouts are thriving. The Nagasaki cabbages, the komatsuna, the mustard greens, and even the tomatoes have came back to life. Guys, these tomatoes still have no disease at all. It's incredible. There's no disease out there. The German butterballs in the early season caught blight. Yes, but that is because I pushed it too far, and I did 4 years of growing them in those grow bags without doing anything else. I was just adding some nutrients. So that was pushing it too much. So I got blight. After 4 years of growing in the same exact location in those grow bags, they started getting blight. So that's kind of to be expected, but I wanted to see how long I could do it. But beyond that, no disease in the whole garden. There's no anthracnose on the peppers. There's no tomato blight. That we had no blossom end rot. We had no anything else except for the vining plants where the manure was added. That was a joke. But besides that, everything is really good still. The tomatoes rehydrated. They pop right back up and they are good to go again. So what do I attribute this to? The Viking granular nutrients, of course, so that they have all the stuff that they need. There's langbeinite in the Viking granular, all right? And that is a particular type of nutrient that allows for the plants to defend itself, all right? Along with the sprays of the bat guano, for example, is very high in chitin, yes? Which is like a structural protein for the cell walls of fungal cells, yes? And so it promotes strong fungal growth in the soil. And it also has antiviral, antibacterial effects on the leaves of the plant. It really helps for robust growth. So it's so much more than just MP and K. There's so many things I could go on about it. I would have to brush up exactly. All that's just off the top of my head. So many things. But the science behind it doesn't matter as much as the effect. The effect is that we don't get disease. And I mean, it's just been a brutal year for stuff and everything is still doing really good. Okay. So yes. Mom Computer says, Nate, you didn't pin the info on the organic Austrian Crescent potato resource from last week. They have many other kinds to choose from and will send in the spring if you choose. Yes, I forgot all about that, my friend. Please put a comment in this video and I will pin it. I give you my word as soon as we're done, but you have to do it as soon as we're done because we're going to the Johnny Appleseed Festival right after this. But as soon as we are done, I will go upstairs and pin that comment to the top of the video so that people can get the Austrian Crescents. Meyer Lemon says, Nate, how late is okay to plant the onions when we get them? It depends where you live. If you are north of Indiana, then, I mean, it doesn't really matter that much. They're extraordinarily hardy. So if you're south of Indiana, you can plant them like all winter even. So just anytime. anytime you get them, plant them and they will be fine. I literally had onion top sets that like a couple of years ago, and I just tore them off and literally threw them down by the air conditioner and forgot about them and didn't bury them, didn't do anything. And it was a brutal winter. You know, we had 0 degrees, many days, 0 degrees temperatures. And in the springtime, boom, first thing that came up was those. They just put roots into the ground and grew. So they're probably the hardiest plant that we grow, period. So there's that. Yeah, sorry, Adam Gottlieb says, dude, your stream keeps getting cut off to push ads on me. Yeah, remember again, YouTube is really pushing everything, so it's like they place the ads during the stream. But if you choose don't monetize the video, then the creator, me, doesn't make any money off those ads, but YouTube will still put them there and they'll keep all the money. So you have to monetize your videos. You understand? So you just kind of got to deal with it. Or guys, get YouTube Premium. I mean, my goodness, I can't even explain to you how much better YouTube Premium is. Cinnamon Bear says, I missed it. How do I get a membership? Just go and click the join button. There's a join button. Maybe it's on this stream, but on the channel homepage, there's a join button. So please do join. Clean Grow finally caught up first live. All right, my friend. Good thing that you're here. Guys, check this out. You remember what? Last week when I showed you those pink oyster mushrooms that we began to colonize. So we did them on the 11th. And what is today? 22nd? That's 11 days ago, okay? So, look, okay? We're already getting mushrooms galore, okay? These just started yesterday, and they're going to like double in size by the end of the day. Or by the end of like tomorrow, they'll be double size. So guys, look at these, okay? This is how easy it is. I'm telling you, now that I've got this new technique, it is so easy to grow these things. So look here. Because we just inoculate it, there's no more boiling and sterilizing. We're just using this real cheap pH pen, which the price of these have come way down. Back when I was doing pHing everything, they were like $200 for the Blue Lab pH pen. But now this is like $10 for this little pH pen. It's junk, but it works. So we got this little pH pen, and we got our straw, and we got our hydrated lime. And it's so easy. I'm going to show you videos on how to do it. And then we pack it in here, mix it with the substrate, and guys, look at all these mushrooms. We're going to have to dehydrate these. Look at that. We're going to have to dehydrate these because we're getting so many. So these are going to be super delicious, all right? Now, I got these in the tent downstairs because these are very sensitive to humidity levels, and it's been bone dry here, so we are not going to put them outside. And these are pink oysters, and they like heat. These are heat loving. So if you live in a hot place, grow these pink oysters. You can grow them outside, definitely. But you see how every hole, this is a good sign. Pretty much every hole is fruiting because they are ready to go. So we're going to get 2 or 3 flushes of these. So we're going to be eating mushrooms galore. Now, guys, these are very, very good for you, okay? These are very high in all kinds of phytonutrients and vitamins and minerals. And so we've got pink oysters, we've got yellow oysters, we do blue oysters over the winter, we do lion's mane as well. And you guys will see when we go down to Jerry's in about a month that we will be doing the inoculating logs with shiitake and lion's mane. Okay, and those are going to fruit for several years. But guys, you can grow these things indoors all winter long. Just utilize the link in the description. Go into the video description. There's a link for North Spore. Use the code Viking, Garden Viking, or whatever it says there. You get 10% off. I get a small kickback. So that helps this channel, of course. But just get you some spawn. I would recommend, unless you live in a hot climate, I would recommend the yellow and the blue oysters. The red or the pink oysters are actually, they don't like it if it's below 60 degrees. Okay. So now These are delicious, depending on how you make them. So, all right, so these are super delicious. So everybody should get some spores. Utilize the. Let's see here. Yes, there will be lion's mane, Big West. There will be lion's mane, definitely. Mike C, thank you, my friend. I appreciate the contribution. So, yes, you guys. Check it out, and I will show you how to do the very simple process with the lime hydration. Very easy and very effective. They obviously love to grow this way. So these are going to be great. Yes, I just can't be happy enough with these. So yeah, that was only 11 days from the time that I inoculated them until we're going to be eating these like tomorrow and the next. These are going to get like this big. I mean, they're going to get like 5 times this size. You know what's amazing though? You know what's amazing about these is that the mushroom, okay, by the time they are this size down here, you see that? By the time they are that size, they have all of the cells that they're going to have. The rest is, as far as mushroom tissue, the rest is going to, what they do is they expand with moisture. Humidity. They soak up the humidity and they just literally swell up like a sponge. They don't actually, the cell division, and I'm 90% sure that this is totally accurate because it was several years ago that I was into all this. But the cell division is already taken place by the time you see the pinhead formation. So the rest of it is just swelling up with water. That's why it's so important that you keep them humid. And if you don't, then they're going to abort. And they're not going to grow any taller than that or bigger than that. But guys, these are going to be amazing. All right. So get on the train. And we're also going to be, or we already have, but we will be outdoor inoculating stuff next year. Definitely. So let's see here. Masabi Gal, yes, it does mean that, well, I'm not sure as far as all of the, I don't think it works like that. Like that there's 10 times the, concentration of nutrients. I don't know about that, actually. I don't think so, though. But we'll see. Meyer Lemon says, Nate, I've never dehydrated mushrooms. Do they taste the same? How about texture? They taste relatively the same. They can be even better. The texture can be more solid. It depends how you like them, though, and how you prepare them. But it's the only way to go as far as making them so that you can just throw a handful of dried mushrooms in a stew or whatever. It's great. Yeah, see, Cinnamon Bear says, I dehydrate them all the time. A little more toothsome, but great flavor. Yes. Let's see here. Oops, mom computer. Not sure why that would be happening, but okay, I will try to do that. Really not sure why that would be happening. That happens to some people more than others. Tree Rogi, no, you can't use this technique really to grow those kind. The best technique that I found way back in the day when I was into that kind of stuff is the PF tech with sterilizing the jars. Those kind of mushrooms are not nearly as vigorous as the oysters. So you got to be real sterile and clean. Everything's got to be real clean. Yeah. Whoa, Brian says, if someone wants to give more, they could donate memberships for the tribe. I think I've seen that in other places. That's cool. I've not seen that before. That would be good. Let's see here. Jacob, thank you very much, my friend. Says, God bless for all you do to help people. Yes, same to you, my friend. Same to all you guys. Clean Grow says, I got my walking onions in the mail and I'm looking forward to getting some rain for planting. Yes, they will grow no matter what. let's see here. Guys, if you want some stickers, go ahead and you can send me a self-addressed envelope, or for now, just because I want as many people to have these as possible, for now, just send me a a donation would be good, even just a $5 or $10, a donation, and then your address, okay, where you want these to send to. It's best to do it electronically, through PayPal, Venmo, or Cash App. So if you could do a $5 or $10 donation, I'll send you a couple of these. That would be great, so that you could show your support. But even if you can't donate anything and you still would rock these somewhere, then just send me your address and I'll send you one anyways, okay? Because some people have donated more, and so the cost is, it all works out fine. So if you want them, if you want to rock them, and this is the rookie card, this is the original edition, guys, because the next batch has got a white circle around in the background of the YouTube sign so that it's easier to read. But we'll know who the OG original, like a couple years from now, these are going to be like, whoa, that's that original one, because there's going to be all kinds of different iterations of them. So if you guys want one, hit me up. I'll send them to you for sure. No problem. Cinnamon Bear says, it's not showing up for me. That's really weird. I'm not sure why that would be. Sam Potzik, who's now a member, says, did you get my self-addressed envelope? I did not get it yet because I have not checked the P.O. box. That will be very soon. I will check the P.O. box Monday morning. Typically, I check that. Okay. So let's see here. Now, yes, thank you, Pam. Says, so grateful for all that I have learned from you. Have shared all your videos with family and friends. Yes, and I appreciate your enthusiasm. So, okay, so the beds. Now, I've got a lot of questions about the beds as far as the, I need a Viking license plate for the front of my car. Pennsylvania doesn't have front plates. Ooh, that's going to be an option. Yes, once we get the logo, which thankfully one of you guys have contributed so that I can really actually invest in someone doing the logo. So this is really good. This is going to happen before long. So once we get the logo happening, then yes. Oh, that's going to be cool. But anyways, the beds. Now I got a lot of questions about the different kinds of beds. And I want to comment on that. I want to explain that now. So give me a second. Big West, how about you just send me your address, okay? And I will send you a couple of stickers, all right? Because, well, you just need them, okay? So just email me your address where you want them sent to. So now, hang on. It's just so dry here. Everything's just so dry. So my last video was about the bed design. All right. Now I went through many different kinds of beds and the pros and cons to each. Now if you've watched that video, which all of you should have, then you will understand my thought process behind it, and you'll understand why I'm going the route that we're going. Now I've had several comments, and several of them have been about why don't you just do the market style gardening? And then several of them have been about cinder blocks or concrete board. Okay. So the cinder blocks is easy to answer. And I have done that many times in the past and in different places. And without fail, unless you mortar the cinder blocks, after the first year, the ground will shift and they will look all jagged and janky and they look ridiculous. It just happens with biologically alive soil, especially if you live in a place where the ground expands and contracts, freezes and thaws. Your cinder blocks, think about it. The cinder block, if there's just a tiny adjustment, then you're going to notice a big crack, a big gaping hole in the cinder block. So within the first or second year, they look all ridiculous. and unless you mortar them in place, in which case, to get them. Whoa! Are you guys seeing this fireworks? That's pretty cool. Anyways, did you guys see those fireworks, or was I hallucinating that? Was that only for me? But the fireworks caught me off guard. What was I talking about? The cinder blocks. So the only way to get those up if you mortar them is with a sledgehammer. Okay, so that would yes, they would last forever, and those would be really good if you mortar them in place. But if you don't mortar them in place, it's going to be kind of a joke. If you want it to look clean, so there's that. And they're really heavy. I don't know if you've moved a lot of cinder blocks, but they're pretty heavy. So the, let's see here. Now, the blocks or the garden design that I have had is similar to the market style gardening. Okay, so the market style. So one of the commenters was like, "You forgot to mention the easiest." Maybe I took a picture of this because I wanted to. It's nothing against the person, but I just wanted to make it known so that Donald Hughes, $5. Thank you, my friend. Appreciate you. Says, "Oh, shipping." Okay, so that is for the. That is for the sticker. Yes, I got you. Got you. Thank you, my friend. Now, maybe I took a picture of this. Let me see if I did. No, I guess I didn't. But anyways, it's let's see. Peter, $5 for the sticker. Got you, my friend. Yes, I'm liking it. $5 for the sticker and not a problem. Okay. Okay, well, I didn't take a screenshot of the question, but anyways, the question was, or the commenter was like, "You forgot to mention the easiest of all the methods, which is market style gardening, where you lay down cardboard and compost in 30-inch wide beds with 12-inch mulch in between, and then all you have to do is broad fork, and that's it." So okay, now I need to make it known that anyone who has done that style will tell you it is not the easiest of all. It is not. So there's different styles of gardening based upon your particular parameters. Now, market gardening is just that. It is for a business style, high turnover, low rooted crops for the most part, and like lettuces and turnips and things like this that can grow really easy. And it's about a business. And so the people that are, if you're talking about low work input, then you're talking about these people literally, like Richard Perkins, for example. Everyone tries to talk to me or kind of recommends Richard Perkins, who is a fantastic grower, by the way. Lots of knowledge, wonderful channel. I really like his operation. It will be somewhat similar to my operation, except we won't be doing the market gardening. It'll be much more of a school than it'll be similar though in many ways. So I really like his operation. Now, if I make it to Sweden, I would love to check it out. And the thing is though, he literally purchases dump truck loads, semi truck loads of compost. Okay. So how does that compost get moved? It doesn't get dumped right in place. So these people with the market gardening, you will see, okay, not only do you need pallets of cardboard, you have to lay the cardboard down, and then you have to get your dump truck load, your 50 cubic yards or however much more of compost delivered and dumped into a pile. Then you've got to take your bobcat maybe and put it in place, or you got to wheelbarrow it. And so you got to shovel it into the wheelbarrow, and then you'll see people starting the market garden. You'll see the cardboard lay down, and you'll see little wheelbarrow dumps of compost. Now, if you've ever shoveled a mountain of compost into wheelbarrows and moved it, or a mountain of soil or gravel or mulch, then you know that is not easy. Okay, it's not. It's the opposite of easy, actually. And so there's a huge amount of labor involved in that. Now, if you're a business, then that's all business costs. The cost of compost, the cost of having 5 people to move that stuff and to lay it all out. Okay, that's all part of doing business. You calculate that in tax write-offs. That's all part of it. Okay, but then so you need huge amounts of compost, way more than we can utilize here, way more than we're going to have here. And it also is not weed free. I've so many people have set up gardens like that, and all of a sudden the Canadian thistle is rocketing right through that cardboard. It laughs. Thistle will laugh at your cardboard and your 12 inches of compost, or whatever it is. They will laugh at that. Okay, and I've seen it time and time again. Now, okay, Country Living says, we do some market gardening style along with raised beds. It's work, but it works well for some of our plants. Not a business, but large family. Yes, see? So for certain circumstances, it works great. But I'm explaining to why I'm kind of replying to that comment who was like, he made it just sound so easy. It's the easiest style of all. You just, it's almost no work. He literally used the term no work. Or something like that. And I thought, no, it's not no work. It's far from it. And here's the big thing, okay? All of the no dig, no till, all that stuff, that's great. Yes, nature does it like that. But what ends up happening, and I see it time and time again, is that the no-till or market gardening type people is they will end up with, because that compost is not finished. It's going to break down further. Okay. I mean, ultimately that 12 inches of compost will break down to 1/100th of 1 inch of humus ultimately, so that'll take a long time. But in the meantime, that compost is going to break down to at least 2/3. Okay. So I see it where people end up with a couple inches of compost on top of rock solid clay. And the roots literally go down into the compost and hit that clay and just spread outwards because they can't penetrate that clay because there's no drainage, there's no aeration, there's no stuff like that going into that soil. And so, and I know this because I've done this so many different times. In the right circumstance, the no dig, the permanently no dig, like it works. Like Charles Dowding, everyone wants to recommend Charles Dowding. So Homemakers, his place. Okay. Now, Charles Dowding is, it lives in a very particular climate, very particular. Guys, the UK is essentially the softest place for growing that's possible. Overcast, temperate, never gets really too hot, never gets really too cold. The people who live there might think it does, but with perspective, it doesn't get too hot or too cold. So, so it's different, thousands of years of oceanside the soil is very different there. Here in Indiana, the soil is so dense, you could almost throw it right onto a pottery wheel. And so it's requires different practices. Okay. So that's what I'm gonna say about that. All right. Yes, Alex Coonan, I highly recommend this. An initial tillage event is often recommended. Even a couple to few years of green manure, that's what I recommend. That's what I found is the best. You do a couple or few years where you're growing a cover crop and tilling that thing in there, getting those minerals, that biology, getting it all in there. You can put down azomite at that same time. You can put down a biochar at that same time. Get a couple years of the tillage of the green manure crops in there. Break up that stuff, incorporate the organic matter, make a place for the microorganisms to thrive. Okay? That's what it's all about. Make the place for the microorganisms to thrive. If they're not already thriving in your rock hard clay anaerobic soil, then they're not going to thrive. Just because you put a few inches of compost on top of that is not going to change anything. You understand what I'm saying? So yes, Dread, thank you. Let's see here. Alex Coonan, context is king. Absolutely. Every situation is different, guys. Every situation is different. Adam Gatley, I recommend you and the guy at Eve Growing and the Growing Your Greens guy. Growing Your Greens guy, I know. Eve Growing, EVE. I'm not aware of that. But thank you for recommending us. Yes, Donald Hughes, thank you, my friend. New member, Kim Knuckles, new member, thank you. Yes, Dread, let's get Garden Viking to 200,000 subs. Yes, what's much more important than subs actually is views per video. That's what's more important. But thank you. Yes, let's do that. Now, for the market style gardening. So why am I transitioning? And you will see this next year, guys. I don't have to guess or wonder. It's going to absolutely thrive. It's going to just crush it next year, regardless of the weather. So the reason that I'm not doing the market style gardening and stuff is, one, because I don't have that capability to make that kind of compost. And two, that's kind of what I've been doing here pretty much. In-ground beds with wood chips in between and broad forking. But it's very difficult to irrigate like that. You can't to irrigate because you can't just, if you're drawing from like the river or a well, that's kind of one thing. Where it's just sort of unlimited and you can just douse everything constantly. But if you're drawing here, we're on city water. So we have to utilize by the meter and all that stuff out of a little garden hose. And it gets so hot and dry here that if I ran a sprinkler, it literally evaporates like before it just evaporates almost immediately. So it doesn't even penetrate deeply. Even running it for like 3 hours doesn't penetrate the soil. But if we have drip lines, it will penetrate perfectly. So the reason we're doing the beds like that is because it helps the plant to focus its roots. All right. It helps its plants to focus its roots. And so you can fertilize more effectively with the Viking granular nutrients because it's much more costly than manure, of course, but much more concentrated. So with manure, you just throw it all over the garden basically, and everything just kind of works itself out. With the Viking granular, you put it right where you want it. And with drip lines, you put it right where you want the roots to grow. So to encourage that, you need to have slightly raised beds, in my experience. So you will see how amazing that's going to work. Now, okay, let us see here, my friend. Nancy Dewald, yes, absolutely you can have some stickers. You can guarantee it. Okay, I got your address. Thank you for sending that. We will send them out. And Rebecca, $10. Thank you, my friend. Says, I found my home. I'm home. Yes, good. I'm glad that you're home, my friend. $10. Thank you. Send me your address. I'll send you a sticker for your home. And Peter V, yes, got you. I will be sending that sticker, definitely. Gary Smith, $25 via PayPal. Thank you for your continued support, my friend. Certainly you want some stickers. Let me get your address. So says, want to start cover crop, but waiting for rain and cooler temperatures. Yes. Well, it depends. It depends. So if you've got the space to start the cover crop, it's worth watering the cover crop to get it started now. You'll be so much further ahead than starting after the frost. I mean, I have done like winter rye. I have literally seeded that after the frost has killed off the tomatoes and the other heat-loving stuff. And yes, and it can grow like this tall even, before winter sets in and it hits its dormancy period. And and then it will start rocketing growth again the next year. The earlier you plant it, though, the better, the more vigorous it's going to be. So if you're using a winter rye, winter wheat, any of those kind of crops, cover crops, the earlier the better, really. So I would go ahead and water it. I know. I would try and water it or cover it with something, cover it with a black, some kind of tarp or something until it sprouts. But the clovers, though, you definitely want to get them as early as possible. Crimson clover and stuff, you definitely want to get them as early as possible. If you're in Indiana, northern Indiana, the surefire thing is mammoth red clover. Crimson clover is good to about -10 degrees Fahrenheit. Much below that, and it starts to die off. But So mammoth red clover can take -40 though, no problem. So that's what I would go for. Okay. So let's see here. Yes. So thank you guys. Got it. Yes. Got it. Will do. So let's see here, my friends. Let's see here. Taida, good to see you, my friend. New member. Yes. So Celeste, Nate, thank you so much for your knowledge. Also, thank you for including the melon seeds. They were a little moldy when I got them. Is it okay to keep them over winter and plant them next year? Yeah, good point. So guys, listen, do you remember a couple of episodes ago when I cut the squash up right in front of you? Well, it's because we were totally out. So we had a few more squash left, maybe 5. So I cut that one and we didn't wait for it to dry long enough. And so several of you might have got seeds. If it's a little bit moldy, that's not going to be a problem. Just set them out just set them out and let them dry off. And they should be fine. They should be totally fine. Now, I know at least one of you got some that were sprouting already. So if they're sprouting already, then hit me up and I will send you new ones. Okay. We'll just eat that. Because that was our fault. We didn't dry them off enough. We didn't realize, you learn all these things as you go. So we put them in the bag when they were still kind of damp. And so they sprouted. But the mold is going to be just fine. But if they're actually putting the tails out, let me know. Let me know. Send me a picture to the Viking Discord chat of the sprouting plants because I want to see. I just want to see everything, how they look, how it happened. Is there mold? It helps me to learn more. So, yes. Jay Dixon says, repeated views count up to a certain point. Say, for instance, someone watches a video multiple times a day, but they stop counting at a certain number. Yes, I don't know if they stop counting. I wouldn't say that, but what's more important is unique viewers and yes, returning viewers. So you can look at all this stuff in your analytics, how many unique viewers there are as opposed to the views. I mean, it's crazy how in depth it all is, but yeah, unique viewers is very important. So guys, check this out. If you're wondering what to do with your tomatoes, then you can dehydrate them and then put them in olive oil and oregano. These things are delicious. Now, these are purple bumblebees, and you see them here in the olive oil. But get you a good quality olive oil. And it's you actually want to take a solution. So dehydrate your tomatoes, okay, like this, till they're super dry. And then you want to take you a solution of 1 cup of apple cider vinegar, 1 cup of pure water, bring it to a boil. Add about 1/4 cup of brown sugar, like a good raw brown sugar or like a juggedy, something like this, natural sugar. And then add you about 1, maybe 2 teaspoons of sea salt. All right. Let that boil in there for about 5 minutes. Let it simmer for about 5 minutes. And then drop all of your dried tomatoes in there and boil them for about 2 minutes. All right. Just boil them for about 2 minutes. Take them out, pat them dry, and then stuff them into a container and then pour the high quality olive oil. It's all about the quality of the olive oil. Get a good one. Pour it over them. And, oh yeah, I forgot to say, put some oregano in there as well. I could make a video on it. I might make a video on it, but I just want to show you guys how easy it is. And these will last in the refrigerator all winter long. And they're so fruity. Good tomatoes. Now, for those of you thinking, did you dry them in the sun to call them sun-dried? Actually, it all comes from the sun. Okay. So the electricity comes from the sun. At some point, it all comes from the sun. We're just using it in a different way, okay? So they are sun-dried. End of story. Okay, yes, Daniel, got you. Or Michael, Michael D, yes. Got you, my friend. I'm going to send you several of them. Make sure, because I know you'll be loud and proud. So yes, we got you. We will do that. Remember, the rest of you guys that want them, just let me know. Let me know where to send them to. Aaron Johnson, yes. Got you. I will send you the stickers. Don't worry. Thank you guys for everything. So Happy Dirt Dude says, okay, yeah, mine were all black, but I put them in a paper bag figuring they will be okay come spring. Yes. So make sure that they're dry. You're talking about the Tahitian melon seeds. Now, bear with them, let them dry out and stuff. If something happens in the springtime and you want to try and sprout them on a paper towel, one or two of them, just to make sure that they do, then go ahead and do that, But if they don't, we will make it right. Okay. So if they don't sprout in the springtime, we'll send you fresh ones right away. We will. So we'll make it right no matter what. But if you can avoid that, let's avoid that. Okay. Ooh, Serena. What do plants drink at social gatherings? Compost tea. I like it. Masabi Gal says, definitely make a video on the sun-dried tomatoes. Yeah, I should do that because these things are like little nuggets of joy in the wintertime. I didn't make any last year, but I did the year before. And they're just like, you add them into a dish. Oh my goodness, they're kind of chewy. But that's important though. You want them to have the right consistency. That's why you got to dry them bone dry at first. Okay. And from this point, you can either grind them into the tomato paste powder, which is amazing for all kinds of stuff. Or you can do this with them. And I recommend, this is so delicious, guys, that you will never bother getting ones from the store again that's got citric acid and natural flavors and all kinds of other bizarre endocrine disrupting chemicals and all that stuff. You won't never bother with those again because you'll make your own. And you know what goes into these. These are literally tomatoes that we just harvested from the yard. And we've got this olive oil, which is a super good organic specialty olive oil. For making the sun-dried tomatoes, it counts. It pays to get the good one. Get one of those specialty ones. When I lived in Greece, I lived 2 separate seasons in Greece teaching scuba diving. I was in a small village called Palaros near Lefkada. And so this village has been living like this for a long, long, long time. The houses are all made of stones, like stacked stones and stuff. And so each family has their little plot of land. Like people live in the village, but then each family has like a little plot, on the mountain, kind of like out in the country a little bit. And they all have their own individual olive trees. And there's different varieties of olive trees, and some of them are multiple thousands of years old, according to them, but at least many hundreds of years old. And so each family produces their own olive oil, and it's super delicious, and the nuances are very different. So I got deep into olive oil when I lived in Greece because we would take the bread and you could have like 4 different kinds of olive oil and you could dip it into each and really taste the differences. So the type of olive oil matters a lot, and don't think you're wasting it. You drizzle this on top of stuff for sure. All right. So it'll be really, really good. Okay. Ooh. Pam says it snowed here from Friday to Saturday. Devastating. Doesn't get snow in South Africa? Aren't you in the wintertime? Okay. You heard it here from Mom Computer. It says mold on seeds. I give them a quick rub in hydrogen peroxide, then re-dry for a week, then store in the fridge till next year. Prevents the mold from continuing to grow. Do it. Now, I've never done that, but I don't see why it wouldn't work. So long as you're using regular hydrogen peroxide and not the chemicals, 35%, you know. Yes. Yes, Masabi Gal says the same thing. Would a quick rinse of hydrogen peroxide help clean up the moldy seeds? Apparently, yes. Cinnamon Bear says nothing about this channel is Tahitian. Shouldn't they be called Viking melon squash? Well, they're going to be called battle squash, okay? Battle squash. From here out, they're going to be called battle squash, okay? Because we've been saving seeds for so many years that they basically, they have morphed into a different kind of thing. And they've cross-pollinated with all the different kinds of squash that we were growing for several years at the temple and stuff. So yeah, there's no doubt that they're different genetically than true Tahitian melon squash. So we could call them battle squash. So if you guys ain't got your battle squash seeds, then you need to do that, okay? Signal Law says, I've never heard of that method. Sun-dried tomatoes with olive oil. Oh, yeah. It's amazing. But the key is to boil it until the consistency is right. If you just dry them like this and then pour olive oil over them, it doesn't rehydrate properly, and they're like leather. They're real, like, kind of unpleasant. But if you have to boil them right in the apple cider, and that gives them a tang. So good. Serena Norell says, what's the best way to deal with nutgrass without hurting the soil in a raised bed? I'm not sure what nutgrass is. Sorry. Does anyone know what that is or how to help that? Natalie Dumont says, do you dry them with their juice and seeds, or do you dry the flesh only? So my favorite tomatoes to dehydrate are the purple bumblebees. And these are small, purple and red, but very flavorful small tomatoes like this. And so I cut them in half and put them cut side up onto the dehydrator. All right, I got a real nice, powerful dehydrator. Put them cut side up, and that's all I do. So that then the skin acts like a bowl. And as they dehydrate, the juice concentrates. The seeds, the juice, everything concentrates, and it makes these little nuggets that are just like so sweet. Okay, I know you can't really see it. I'm trying to find like a good one, but yeah, the seeds are in there and everything, and so it makes like a little bowl here that keeps all of the juice, and it concentrates upon itself, and so it's very delicious. Highly recommend it. Cinnamon Bear says, you think using hydrogen peroxide on garlic? Now, that's something I'm not sure. I would like to know, though. Does anyone have experience using hydrogen peroxide on garlic? Put it in the comments of the video so that other people can see it. Let's see. Okay, so Wayne Corelli says, I always bathe my garlic before planting after watching what happened to Nate. In what? You bathe it in what? And have you had success with that? I just, I hesitate using hydrogen peroxide. I actually don't use it in the garden because when I was in California, we used it 35% though, but for disinfecting everything. And so I'm not saying it, well, I just have no experience using it in the garden. So if you guys are able to do that, let me know. Okay, only if you have experience, not if you've watched videos of other people doing it, only if you have done it. All right. Sister G, very good. Look for single source olive oil. Yes, single source. You're going to pay for that, definitely, but it's worth it. Happy Dirt Dude says, I showed my wife your garden bed video, and we're redoing our garden bed like that for next year as well. You'll be happy with it, guys. You'll be happy with it. Now, a lot of people are like, well, it's not going to last all that long. Well, it's going to last at least 3 to 5 years. I know that. And we're only going to be in this spot 3 to 5, maximum 5 years, because we're getting the land, guys. We're getting, the whole thing is expanding to a different thing. You know, I haven't even entered my 40s yet. Okay. So we got time so we can build all that, but we want to do it real solid. Like, yeah, we got to have the good brand developed. We got to have a good tribe, good, strong tribe developed. We got to have a couple books out. We got to have video courses, all that kind of stuff. The fertilizer's got to be out, all that. Then we're going to get the land. All right. And then we will be doing stuff forever. Because once we get that land, that's it. We're not going anywhere for the rest of this life. And so then we will do things building out of concrete, building out of stones, building out of, different long-term things, metal things. But for here, I only need 3 to 5 years from this. Okay. This is temporary. So I'm not going to be making cement board or cinder blocks, or spending $5,000 for the Vigo raised beds or any of that kind of stuff. What I showed you in that video is very effective. It's very effective. How do I know that? Because that's how we grew killer, literally world-class crops in Northern California. Literally world-class. And so because we use those semi-raised beds like that, not real raised. You never want to use more than a 2x12. We're going to use 2x10. About 20% of it will be below grade. Oh my goodness. Are you seeing that? It can sense. Okay. It can sense that I made a heart with my fingers. That's pretty cool. Give it a thumbs up, guys. Oh, okay. Now I understand. Anyways, so it's only about 20% below grade. All right. And then we're going to run the drip lines. Okay. And that is going to create, in California, we had, in each greenhouse, I had a single bed that was 20 feet wide by 85 feet long. Okay. And we ran drip lines the whole length of that bed, and we planted in there. Now, it was 2x12. All right. Now that was, and we had 5 greenhouses right next to each other. And that created, like, you treat the whole thing as one bed, and it just, the top of the soil surface was kind of dry, and that helped to prevent things like fungus or any of that kind of stuff, green mold and fruit flies and fungus gnats. But if you dug down just an inch or so, there was a thick carpet of roots that were under there. And they thrived, guys. We were growing just amazing plants in that. Even when it was 120 degrees in the greenhouse, I would do, well, now they call it pulse watering, but at the time, it's just what I discovered the plants responded the best to. But we would water through those drip lines 3 times a day for 30 minutes. So once at about 10 o'clock, once at about 5, and then once at about 8. And that kept them things. They never experienced a point where they drooped down like that to try and limit their transpiration. They would always be, boom, erect and growing. So I found that they responded better. All right. So, yeah, it's not just blind. I'm not just doing this. I mean, this is all methodic over years of experience. There's a reason. Everything that I do has a reason behind it. So that's for sure. Tree Rogie. Okay. Now do it, bird. Okay. Wait. Okay. Is that not a bird? If that wasn't a bird, I don't know how to do it. Yes. Thank you, Jay Dixon. To become a member, click on join button. May need to reload your page. Also try going back to main Garden Like a Viking page. Yes, guys, remember, I need everyone to become a member as soon as possible, okay, if you can. Just become a member and we will appreciate it, okay? Even just becoming a member, okay, you can get a sticker. You just got to send me your stuff. Now, we're going to let me know what kind of other merch stuff you would like to see, what you would what you would sport. I'm going to get some bigger ones of these, like actual bumper sticker size. I'll get some of those, definitely. I also want to get like probably like a mug of some kind, some kind of thing you can slurp tea out of at the same time I'm doing it, so we can all slurp together. Stuff like that. Yeah. So, Mom Computer says, throw your hands up for fireworks. So, okay, well, so I'll just have to talk like this all the time, but it's not doing it. Okay, I'm getting a little ridiculous. Guys, one more time, for all of those of you that have missed this, look, all right, it's only been 11 days since we inoculated this. I can't believe how fast these things have colonized. And we are going to be having so many mushrooms. So get prepared to be growing these mushrooms. There's going to be links, there's a link in the description to get the spores, all right? Not just the spores, but it's actual spawn. So you will be able to grow your own. Uh-oh. Look who's here. What are you doing? Come say hi.
It's big.
I know, the mushrooms. Shit. Where are we going?
Johnny Appleseed.
Johnny Appleseed. Do you know who Johnny Appleseed is?
I forgot, but Mom told me like 100 times.
Oh, okay. Mom told me 100 times. Well, Johnny Appleseed is buried here in Fort Wayne, actually, supposedly, allegedly, So we're going to go, there's a big festival where there's like reenactment and all that kind of stuff. Hold one of those up so everybody can see them. See, now don't you want one? If me holding it up wasn't good enough, now I know you want one. Okay. So, yes, let's see here. We got about 10 more minutes, give or take. So, tomorrow is the first official day of fall. I know.
Will it be cold?
She says, will it be cold? I don't know. Will it be cold? Hopefully it will. Cooler.
Those were tiny last night. They're huge.
I know. See, she said those were tiny last night. Now they're huge. I know. And they double in size. They're going to get much bigger real fast.
That big.
That's right. Real big.
Bigger.
Yeah, and you love mushrooms, right?
I don't eat them.
Oh, yeah. See, she goes, I don't eat them. Okay.
But they're pretty.
Yes. Okay. You can wait for me to get off. Okay, guys. So yes, Muddy Paws, new member. Val Thatcher, new member. Thank you, guys. I appreciate that. Jeremy Ransom says, no fireworks, but it's a good laugh seeing you do that. Come on, do the fireworks. Okay, how about don't forget to give a thumbs up, guys. Made it happen, okay? So Wayne says, I would wear a pull-down hat with Garden Like a Viking for the winter. Yes. You're talking like a beanie type, or that's a good idea. You guys know the camo hat that I wear all the time, the military issue type one. I think I would get some of those with a Viking logo on the front, because those are indestructible and are very nice to keep this Viking skin from getting scorched. Okay. But what I'm wearing today, because we're going to the reenactment, Johnny Appleseed, is going to be this one. Okay. What do you think? This one's made of Brazilian tarps. It's called the Real Deal Brazil hat. These are pretty cool. They're indestructible as well. They're made of old canvas tarps. I've got them in the Viking storefront, actually, so you guys can check them out. Meyer Lemons says, Nate, should we trim the growing tips of the tomatoes to get them to break at this point? I've never found a need for that, okay? Because you don't, any tomatoes at this point that are not ripening, just pick them like once the frost starts to come, once threat of frost comes, pick them, bring them inside. And green tomatoes that are picked before they start turning will last, they can last months inside. I've had them last literally 2 months. I've had them last to like November tomatoes if you pick them green. So don't worry, if they're not ripening, just pick them and let them ripen inside, okay? And it will be just fine. So, man, look at all these members. This is what we like to see, guys. Yes, this is why we just put it at $3 a month. So this is what we like. so that we can get as many members as possible. Julianne says, Nate, if I lived anywhere close to you, I would give you a loaf of the organic sourdough, rosemary, Parmesan, sun-dried tomato bread. I know. That sounds incredible. It just kept getting better. Organic sourdough, rosemary, Parmesan, sun-dried tomato bread. Yes, I would be down for that. I would give you some sun-dried tomatoes to put in there as well. That's how that would work. Yes. Okay. Thank you, Mom. Computer. Fireworks. What did I do to get fireworks? I forget. What? Oh. Yes. Oh. Hearts come up with a video. Yeah, they're looking at me going, what are you doing? So, so signal lost. Don't you guys have the largest ball of twine too? No, I don't know about that. I think that's kind of like, I don't know. Yeah, that's what I was wondering. Wayne Corelli. Did Johnny Appleseed planted crab apples everywhere? I know. Where, I mean, what type of trees did he really plant? Val says, she is so adorable. B. Hendricks says, you mean Johnny Appleseed was a real person? John Chapman. Yes, John Chapman. So let me see here. So, Linda Rogers needs some Viking tea mixes. Yeah, guys. So we'll have a website here this upcoming winter where we will be able to sell all kinds of things. Okay. So we're going to have the walking onions next year. We don't quote me on this, but we might have available a certain amount of of Viking garlic. Okay. I think I got my uncle to maybe warm up to the idea of getting rid of some of his. So we'll see though. I can't promise that, but, there would be that would be pre-order only, but it's a garlic that he's been growing for many years in the same spot. So, there will be that, there will be merch, there will be, all kinds of stuff, maybe some video courses, and Jeremy Ranson, Nate, do you like spicy sauces? Thinking of sending you some of our homemade hot sauces. Now, how spicy? I do. I make my own Tabasco sauce. That's about as spicy as I can appreciate. But whatever it is, send it to me. And my stepdad loves hot sauces, so we will have him experiment with it. It will get used. It will get used. And the way that I work is that when I get something like that, I always break it off to many different people. And so see what they think about it, and so they can experience it. So I could give you some feedback, if that's what you're into. Now I'm testing a couple of different kinds of fermentation lids for you guys because up until now I've always just used these lids, because they allow air to escape, but they're kind of messy. So I'm trying a couple different kinds of fermentation lids for you guys because I want to be able to know which one to recommend. And so they are so far working out really good. And what I like about them is that they keep out the insects, because to these ones, these fruit flies literally can crawl up into here and they can lay their larvae. So they can get nasty. But these, that can't really happen. So you see they're still ballooned out a bit, but they appear to be working pretty good. So this is just cabbage and sea salt. That's all we're doing here, because we're going to use this as a brine to ferment many other things, because this is going to be the year of ferments, big time. So I'll let you know which of these is superior before long. Jason Hetty says, I use those mason top lids. They appear to work pretty good. The advantage of this one supposedly is that you can adjust, you can't see it here, but you can adjust the day of the month. So if you don't want to write down exactly and you just want to put the day of the month that you started the ferment, you can adjust this dial. So we'll see. But I typically label all of my ferments anyways though, but we'll see. We'll see how well that is. So let's see. Muddy Paws says, what did the alien say to the gardener? What did the alien say to the gardener? I'm waiting on that. So we can't get off until we hear the answer to this. Okay, Muddy Paws. Let's see here. Val says, how much sea salt per quart for the cabbage ferment? I actually do it differently now than I used to. So I do it by weight. And so you want to get a good scale, okay? I finally gave up the triple beam and I got a digital scale. And now we do 1,960 grams of cabbage to 40 grams of sea salt, okay? And that's perfect. It's not too salty. It's not too much. It's perfect, all right? And that 1,960 grams of cabbage is about this much, a half gallon. So we add about 40 grams of salt to that, and it works perfectly, okay? So that's what we do. Okay, look, what did the alien say to the gardener? Take me to your weeder. Okay, that's a good one. That's a good one. Yes, cooking with Shelly, pampered chef style. Pampered chef parties. Nate, do you or anyone here reuse brine from dill pickles to ferment other veggies? So long as they are fermented dill pickles, yes. But if they're actual, like if they're vinegar pickles, no, not at all. That doesn't ferment anything. But if they are lacto fermented pickles, then yes, absolutely. That's actually what we're doing with this. We're not even really going to eat this cabbage. You know, here in just another day or two, I'm going to put this cabbage through the juicer. Literally, I'm going to juice this cabbage and strain out every last drop of brine. And we're going to store the brine in the refrigerator. And we're going to use that brine as a starter for all the ferments that we'll be doing here over the next couple of months. So, okay, guys, it is time to go. All right. We've got one little girl in pigtails here just dying to go to Johnny Appleseed Festival. So we are going to get going. Thank you guys for everything. Thank you for being here. Thank you all for becoming members. Yes. If you are watching this after the fact, just click the join button. It's only $3 a month. We need to show YouTube that we've got a community and so that we can promote the channel. Okay. We're worthy of promotion. Please. No, we already know all that. We already know we are. So, but you got to play that game. You know, you got to play that game. Otherwise you don't get promoted. So, okay, guys, thanks a lot for everything, and we will see you guys next time. And yes, Sam, I will check the P.O. box. Don't worry. Remember, if you guys want the OG Rookie Year sticker, then you can send me your address. I wanted to thank Elaine, okay? So I forgot. I wanted to thank Elaine. Look at this. She sent me this in the P.O. box, and I open it up, and it is literally handwritten recipes. Just like my grandma used to do. I mean, it really, really brought back memories. Even her handwriting is like my grandma. You know, look, eggplant and squash casserole. And she writes out how to do it and then says, put in the oven at 350 and all of this. How awesome is that? You know? So place in casserole dish and top with breadcrumbs. I just thought that is so thoughtful. Thank you very much. For sending that. There's several recipes in here, and you can guarantee that I'm going to use these because if somebody's handwriting these recipes in this handwriting, you can bet that it is time tested and that it is going to be delicious. So we are going to be using this. So thank you very much. Okay, I just wanted to thank you for that publicly, and I look forward to more if you care to send them. So we will use them, all right? We're all about trying different recipes, learning different things, all that kind of stuff, all right? So, all right, guys, we will see you next time. Remember, do all your shopping through Amazon through the Viking link, okay? And I know you guys are doing it because the revenue is going up. So that's awesome. Thank you.